Good morning everyone. Myself Indranil Mandal, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department. Today I am going to present an important topic, engine lubrication systems related to internal combustion engines and automobile engineering. Let's start the session.
Lubrication system. What are the main objectives? To reduce friction between two moving parts so that there is minimum power loss. To minimize wear and tear of moving parts. What are the main secondary objectives? To provide cooling effect, act as sealing and act as cleaning agent. There are following major requirements for a good lubricant. It should maintain required oil film, leave no carbon residue, prevent wear of bearings, low cost, viscosity. It should ensure hydrodynamic lubrication action should take place. Chemical stability. It should be chemically stable under different temperature conditions. Less tendency of oxidation. Resistance against corrosion. It should be good corrosion resistance agent occurred in the engine. Physical stability. It should be able to stable under different conditions of temperature. Flash point. It should be high to avoid flashing of oil vapors. Should contain no sulfur and it should free from dirt and water. What are the main types of lubricants? Solid lubricants, semi-solid lubricants, liquid lubricants. Solid lubricants. Solid lubricants are used when film lubrication is not possible. Graphite, soapstone, molybdenum. Powdered very finely and mixed with oil or water. Semi-solid lubricants, where retention of liquid lubricants is not possible and the mating parts are subjected to very high pressure. Greases made by mixing oils and thickening agents. Liquid lubricants, animal oils. These are generally obtained from animal fat, but they are not good lubricants because they are easily oxidized and become gummy after some time of use. Vegetable oils. These are generally obtained from vegetables like seeds, plants and trees, etc. It has same problem like animal oil but has very good lubricant proportion. Mineral oil. It is generally derived from the photochemical and it is most widely used in automobile sector because of some properties. Greater chemical stability at higher temperature, less reactive with water and more plentiful and cheaper. Synthetic lubricants. These are made from silicon fluids, polyglycol ethers and aliphatic diester. Additives used. The oil additives are added to the lubricating oil to reinforce some properties, which is not the natural properties of fluid or lubricating oil. These additives are added according to the properties of their. For example, phenols, metal salts of thiophosphoric acid and sulfurized waxes, etc. Their important functions are corrosion inhibitors. Compounds such as metal salt or thiophosphoric acid and sulfurized waxes act as anti-agent in the formation of acid which causes corrosion. Detergents. These additions like polymers act as cleaning agent. They break the sludge particles into finely divided particles which are easily scavenged through exhaust port. Viscosity index improves. There are some additions which prevent minimizing the decrease of oil viscosity with increase in temperature. Some points about oil and grades. Classification of lubricants is based on their viscosity. SAE has assigned numbers for gradation. Viscosity is measure of resistance of flow. Units are Sevolt, universal seconds and centipoises. Usually expressed at two temperatures, minus 18 degrees Celsius and 99 degrees Celsius. SAE 5W, 10W, 20W grades are defined in terms of viscosity at minus 80 degrees Celsius. SAE 20, 30, 40, 50 grades are defined in terms of viscosity at 99 degrees Celsius. Multigrade. The temperature range the oil is exposed to in most vehicles can be wide, ranging from cold temperatures in the winter before the vehicle is started up to hot operating temperatures when the vehicle is fully warmed up in hot summer weather. A specific oil will have high viscosity when cold and a lower viscosity at the engine's operating temperature. The difference in viscosities for most single-grade oil is too large between the extremities of temperatures. The SAE designation for multi-grade oils include two viscosity grades. For example, 10W30 designates a common multi-grade oil with viscosity equal to that of SAE 10W at minus 18 degrees Celsius and SAE 30 for 99 degrees Celsius. Advantages of multi-grade oils. It provides ease of starting and short warming period, extends battery life, operates for wider range of temperature, reduces oil consumption and reduces carbon deposits. What are the basic types of lubrication system? There are main three types of lubrication systems are there: mist or charge lubrication system, wet sump lubrication system, and dry sump lubrication system. Wet sump lubrication system is further classified into three types: splash and pressure, and fully pressure type wet sump lubrication system. Let's discuss one by one. Mist lubrication system. This system is used where crankcase lubrication is not suitable. In two-stroke engine, as the charge is compressed in the crankcase, it is not possible to have the lubricating oil in the sump. Hence, mist lubrication is adopted in practice. In such engines, the lubricating oil is mixed with the fuel, the usual ratio being 3% to 6%. The oil and the fuel mixture is inducted through the carburetor. The fuel is vaporized and the oil in the form of mist goes via the crankcase into the cylinder. The oil which strikes the crankcase walls lubricates the main and connecting rod bearings, and the rest of the oil lubricates the piston rings and the cylinder. The advantages of this system is its simplicity and low cost, as it does not require an oil pump, filter, etc. However, there are certain disadvantages which are enumerated, that it causes heavy exhaust smoke due to burning of lubricating oil partially or fully, and also forms deposits on piston crown and exhaust ports which affect engine efficiency. Since the oil comes in close contact with acidic vapors produced during the combustion process, gets contaminated and may result in the corrosion of bearing surface. This system calls for a through mixing for effective lubrication. This requires either separate mixing prior to use or use of some additive to give the oil good mixing characteristics. During closed throttle operation, as in the case of the vehicle moving down the hill, the engine will suffer from insufficient lubrication as the supply of fuel is less. This is an important limitation of the system. In some of the modern engines, the lubricating oil is directly injected into the carburetor and the quality of the oil is regulated. Thus, the problem of oil deficiency is eliminated to a very great extent. In this system, the main bearings also receive oil from a separate pump. For this purpose, they will be located outside the crankcase. With this system, formation of deposits and corrosion of bearings are also eliminated. This is all about mist lubrication system. Let's discuss wet sump lubrication system. In the wet sump system, the bottom of the crankcase contains an oil pan or sump from which the lubricating oil is pumped to various engine components by a pump. After lubricating these parts, the oil flows back to the sump by gravity. Again, it is picked up by a pump and recirculated through the engine lubricating system. There are three varieties in the wet sump lubrication system. They are the splash system, the splash and the pressure system, and the pressure feed system. Let's discuss one by one. Splash type wet sump lubrication system. This type of lubrication system is used in light duty engines. A schematic diagram of the system is shown in this figure. The lubricating oil is charged in the bottoms of the engine cylinders and maintained at a predetermined level. The oil is drawn by a pump and delivered through a distributing pipe, extending the length of the crankcase into splash through located under the big end of all the connecting rods. These throws were provided with overflows and the oil in the throws are therefore kept at a constant level. A splasher or dripper is provided under each connecting rod cap which dips into the oil in the through at every revolution of the crankshaft, and the oil is splashed all over the interior of the crankcase, into the pistons and onto the exposed portions of the cylinder walls. A hole is drilled through the connecting rod cap through which oil will pass to the bearing surface. Oil pockets are also provided to catch the splashing oil over all the main bearings and also over the camshaft bearings. From the pockets, the oil will reach the bearing surface through a drilled hole. The oil dripping from the cylinders is collected in the sump where it is cooled by the air flowing around. The cooled oil is then recirculated. This is all about splash system. Splash and pressure system. This system is shown in this figure, where the lubricating oil is supplied under pressure to main and camshaft bearings. Oil is also supplied under pressure to pipes which direct a stream of oil against the dippers on the B end of connecting rod bearing cuff, and thus the cranking bearings are lubricated by the splash or spray of oil thrown up by the dipper. The pressure feed system, in which oil is drawn in from the sump and forced to all the main bearings of the crankshaft through distributing channels. A pressure relief valve will also be fitted near the delivery point of the pump, which opens when the pressure in the system attains a predetermined value. An oil hole is drilled in the crankshaft from the center of each crankpin to the center of an adjacent main journal, through which oil can pass from the main bearings to the crankpin bearing. From the crankpin it reaches piston pin bearing through a hole drilled in the connecting rod. The cylinder walls, tappet rollers, piston and piston rings are lubricated by oil spray from around the piston pins and the main and connecting rod bearings. The basic components of the wet sump lubrication systems are pump, strainer, pressure regulator, filter and breather. Oil is drawn from the sump by a gear or rotor type of oil pump through an oil strainer. The strainer is a fine mesh skin which prevents foreign particles from entering the oil circulating systems. A pressure relief valve is provided which automatically keeps the delivery pressure constant and can be set to any value. When the oil pressure exceeds that for which the valve is set, the valve opens and allows some of the oil to return to the sump, thereby relieving the oil pressure in the systems. Most of the oil from the pump goes directly to the engine bearings, and a portion of the oil passes through a cartridge filter which removes the solid particles from the oil. This reduces the amount of contamination from carbon, dust and other impurities present in the oil. Since all the oil coming from the pump does not pass directly through the filter, this filtering system is called bypass filtering system. All the oil will pass through the filter over a period of operation. The advantage of the system is that a clogged filter will not restrict the flow of oil to the engine. Dry sump lubrication system. A dry sump lubrication system is illustrated in this figure. In this, the supply of oil is carried in an external tank. An oil pump draws oil from the supply tank and circulates it under pressure to the various bearings of the engine. Oil dripping from the cylinders and bearings into the sump is removed by a scavenging pump, which is turned. The oil is passed through a filter and is fed back to the supply tank. Thus, oil is prevented from accumulating in the base of the engine. The capacity of the scavenging pump is always greater than the oil pump. In this system, a filter with a bypass valve is placed in between the scavenge pump and the supply tank. If the filter is clogged, the pressure relief valve opens, permitting oil to bypass the filter and reaches the supply tank. A separate oil cooler with either water or air as the cooling medium is usually provided in the dry sump system to remove heat from the oil. So the main properties of lubricants are friction between the components and metal to metal contact. It controls this factor. It also controls overheating of the components, wear of the components, corrosion, deposits. To accomplish the main functions, whatever I am told, The lubricant should have suitable viscosity, oiliness to ensure adherence to the bearings and for less friction and wear when the lubrication is in the boundary region, and as a protective covering against corrosion. High strength to prevent the metal to metal contact and serrature under heavy load. Should not react with the lubricating surfaces. A low pour point to allow flow of the lubricant and low temperatures to the oil pump. No tendency to form deposits by reacting with air, water, fuel or the products of combustion. Cleaning ability, non-foaming characteristics, non-toxic and non-inflammable and low cost. These are all about engine lubrication system. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel and stay connected. Thank you very much.